Please join me in prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for the triumphs and achievements of the school year, but also for the challenges that pushed us. We plead for your loving grace and mercy over these graduates. Lead them as they take their next steps. Equip them with the right skills, people, and heart for the next chapters of their lives. We thank you and ask this in the name of our Lord. Amen. You may be seated. Good evening. I am Blaine Thompson, the Dean of Academics, and on behalf of our faculty and staff, it is my honor to welcome you to the 2026 Southern Preparatory Academy Commencement Ceremony. Before we get started, I have a couple of items to note. Immediately following the ceremony, seniors will gather in front of the chapel for the official hat toss photo, weather permitting. And we will be hosting a reception in the fellowship hall. We're grateful to gather with families, friends, and guests to celebrate this important milestone in the lives of our graduates. This year has been marked by significant growth, transformation, and revitalization. We've gone back to our roots, and you graduates have been a part of that process. Today is not only a moment of celebrating achievement, it's a turning of the page, a new beginning. You graduates have made your mark at the Academy. Now the question is, how will you make your mark outside this campus? Someone said that belief is what you hold, but a conviction is what holds you. In other words, it's easy to believe something or have opinions and sway with trendy thoughts and cultural influences. But it is the deep-rooted convictions of the heart and soul that actually shape and determine your actions and your identity. Belief is what you hold. Conviction is what holds you. So, graduates, what are the convictions that hold you? What guides you? What is your foundation? What are you rooted in? If you don't know now, life after high school has a way of revealing it pretty quickly. And I pray it is something worthy of directing you. Today we celebrate your accomplishments, your friendships gained, and the achievements you've earned. But we look forward and imagine the mark you will leave, not just through success, but through the kind of person you become and the convictions you live by. So may you take your experiences and achievements from Southern Prep forward as part of your formation. You all have much to be proud of, but I now want to take a moment to recognize two of you specifically. Within every graduating class, there are students whose academic dedication, perseverance, and commitment distinguish them. Tonight, we recognize two graduates whose achievements represent years of academic discipline. These honors are not earned in a single semester or through one accomplishment, but represent consistent academic excellence. The title of salutatorian is awarded to the student who has achieved the second highest academic standing in the graduating class. At this time, it is my privilege to recognize the salutatorian for the class of 2026, Aiden Frazier. The title of valedictorian is awarded to the student with the highest academic standing in the class. And now it is my honor to recognize the valedictorian for the class of 2026, Marvin Pavlov. Please join me in congratulating both of these students for this outstanding achievement. I now invite Mr. Pavlov to deliver his valedictorian address.
Good evening, everyone. Standing here today as valedictorian is an honor. It means a lot to me. It reflects years of effort, growth, and discipline. My time at Southern Preparatory Academy has not always been easy. There's been struggles, there's been times where I didn't want to continue, I didn't want to study for that test, I didn't want to turn to that big project, but this school taught me the discipline to continue striving and reaching for success. Throughout my journey, I've learned a lot about responsibility, persistence, and independence. There were moments when I doubted myself, but I kept pushing, and that is something that I'll carry with me into the future. I especially want to take a moment to recognize my parents. My success is a reflection of them. Their encouragement, patience, and belief in me made a huge difference every step of the way. They were there for me when I wasn't there for myself. They put in money, time, effort, emotion, and so much more, and without them, I wouldn't be where I am right now. They've saved my life, and they truly made me a better person. I cannot thank them enough and tell them how much I love them for their constant belief in standing by my side even when I didn't think there was a future for me. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Gatzman, Mr. Monk, Miss Murphy, Mr. Murphy, Chief Shaw, Sergeant Major Kaywood, Master Sergeant Burns, Colonel Acock, Coach Martinez, Mr. Drope, Miss Alexis, Miss Chen, and Miss Corey. That's a long list of people, but that's a sincere thank you. They were also there for me and shaped me to who I am today. No matter how small of an influence they think they made on me, they were always there and they were in my mind and part of the reason why I kept going and kept trying and didn't give up. Without them, I wouldn't be on this stage and I wouldn't be graduating at all. I would also like to acknowledge the class of 2026. I'm extremely grateful and honored to be graduating alongside these men. These are some of the sharpest and brightest men that I've ever met, and I'm extremely excited to see where they go in the future. They have bright futures ahead of them, and I know they will all make a significant difference in the community around them. This is not the end for me, but the beginning of a new chapter. I'm looking forward to what comes next and continuing to grow into the person I want to be. I cannot thank this school, the faculty and staff, or my parents enough. Thank you all for your time.
It is my honor and privilege to introduce our next speaker. As an SGA sponsor, I've had the pleasure of working alongside him and seeing his leadership on full display. Please join me in welcoming SGA President Dion Stanley.
Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to stand before you today as your student government president, but even more importantly, as a member of the class of 2026. And to my fellow classmates, congratulations. Your willingness to get up every morning and keep pushing, no matter the circumstances, is truly commendable. Rain or shine, you persevere. And today's ceremony is a reflection of that achievement. No matter how much or how little motivation we had on any given day, we still made it. The phrase, "it's been a long ride," certainly an understatement. We all hopped on board for one last ride this senior year, and I can confidently say nobody regrets it. All the laughter, confusion, anger, and tears have brought us to the crossroads. I'll never forget the drives to soccer games where Pavlov blitzed Coach Droke with questions about stopping at gas stations, or the countless times Dewey felt the need to remind us of his undying love for fried chicken. There's one memory that tops all these, though. This dates back all the way to sophomore year with my friend, Corbin Tanner. I was sitting in his room listening to girly pop music, Katy Perry, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift. He's folding his clothes while I sit there staring at the wall, when all of a sudden he cocks back his arm and launches a t-shirt through a window. No warning. He didn't talk to me at all about it. He didn't even say, "Hey, you want to see a magic trick?" Just the sound of a t-shirt flying through a window, about the size of a Chipotle burrito. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought he was an MLB prospect after that type of throw. If you're wondering what I did what any loyal, brave friend would do, and I walked straight back to my room. Long story short, it was a very fun night having people stand outside of his room asking what happened and trying to convince Tanner that he wouldn't be expelled. Spoiler alert today, folks, he is right here in this front row graduating. That chaotic, ridiculous moment is exactly what I'll remember most about my time here, because it wasn't about that broken window or the panicked questions in the hallway. It's about the friendships that made even the dumbest decisions feel like core memories. And I believe that's one of the most beautiful things about this school. We seniors may part ways physically, but mentally, nobody can take away your experiences with one another. As student government president and peer, I believe in every single one of you. I know you will continue to do great things in your life. You will find success however you define it, whether that's a fast food worker, a business owner, or even the President of the United States. Keep the taste of success in your mind and chase it. Carry it with you until the end of the line. This was just the appetizer. The rest of the journey will be the entree. I don't want to talk anybody's ears off, so I'll just leave you with one final message. Dreams don't work unless you do. Inversely, if you work, then your dreams will too. At this time, it is my honor to welcome to the podium the president of Southern Preparatory Academy, Colonel Corey Ramsby.
How's everybody doing tonight? It's a good day. I just got some news, literally just a minute before we walked down the aisle, but I was notified that Faulkner University has offered a complete, total academic scholarship to our valedictorian, Marvin Pavlov. Congratulations, young man. Good evening, graduates, families, faculty, staff, and friends. Today's a big day. For the graduates, obviously. For the families who are probably thinking, we made it and we're done paying tuition. And for the staff who are thinking, we made it and they're now somebody else's responsibility. So everybody wins. Graduates, take a moment. Take this moment in. Look around. These are the people who helped you get here. The ones who supported you, challenged you, and at times probably frustrated you. The ones who pushed you when you thought you had already given enough. Who held the standard even when you didn't like it. And now here you are. Not just having finished something, but having become something. And let me be clear about something. This is not the finish line. It's actually the start line for the rest of your life. What you do, how far you go, who you love, the kind of person you choose to be, all those seeds have been planted here. The question now is, how will you cultivate them? Who will you impact? And yes, at times, who will you help? And who might you hurt if you're not thoughtful about your choices? Because your decisions going forward will shape not just your life, but the lives around you. This time of year, graduation speeches are everywhere. They're a staple in our culture. Different voices, different messages, all trying to capture a moment like this. Most are heard once, and then they fade with time. But every now and then one stands out. One that resonates far beyond the ceremony. In 2014, at the University of Texas, Admiral William McRaven gave one of those speeches. It's been viewed more than 22 million times on YouTube alone. Some of you may have heard of it. It's the one about making your bed. And there's a reason that message endures. Because it was simple, it's practical, and it's true. Now, I've had the privilege of serving with Admiral McRaven, and I can tell you, he delivered that speech with a clear, calculated purpose. A purpose shaped by years of experience personal challenges, failures, and successes. A purpose of earned wisdom, built through a lifetime of learning and understanding something greater than himself. A greater good, a greater need, a greater cause. And he reminds us of something very important, that some of the most impactful moments in your life will come from things you feel are mundane in the moment. Small, seemingly insignificant actions that allow you to reset, refresh, and reflect. And ultimately respond the right way when it matters most. And moments like that don't just belong to one speaker at one university in 1 year. They belong to anyone willing to live them. Because in life, the margin for error is smaller than you think. Discipline matters. The small things matter. Making your bed isn't about making your bed. It's about starting the day with purpose. It's about doing something right before the day has a chance to get away from you. It's about building momentum. Now, if I'm being honest, some of you didn't fully embrace that concept. We know this because some of your rooms often look like a tactical training scenario. But that's okay, because the point was never perfection. The point was progress. And over this past year, we've seen a lot of it. We've seen you grow. We've seen you step up. We've seen you do some hard things, even when it would have been easier not to. So today, as you move forward, I want to leave you with a few truths. Not complicated, not theoretical, just real and easy to remember. First, life is hard. That's not negativity, that's reality. Things won't always go your way. Plans will fall apart. You'll fail at something you thought you were good at. And in those moments, you'll have a choice. Will you be a victim of your outcomes, or will you shape them? You can complain about it, or you can get better because of it. You've already proven you can handle hard. You've done early mornings, long days, high expectations, and you're still here. That tells me everything I need to know. Second, every challenge holds opportunity. It won't always feel like it. In fact, most of the time it won't. But it's there if you look for it. I've seen that right here. I've seen a student take an ACT and get a score of 17. In a couple of months, that was turned into a 33 in math and a 31 in reading. That's transformation. I've seen a robotics team go from nothing, no program, no history, to competing against 24 teams and making the playoffs in their very first competition. That's what happens when people stop waiting for perfect conditions. They start and figure it out along the way. Opportunity usually looks like work. Third, effort matters. In everything you do, someone is willing to work harder than you. That's reality. You won't always be the most talented person in the room, but you can always be one of the hardest working. And over time, that makes a difference, because effort is one of the few things in life you fully control. If you put in the work, you give yourself a chance. If you don't, you already know the outcome. That's not harsh, that's honest. And fourth, don't forget to appreciate the good moments. Because life is not just about pushing through the hard things, it's about recognizing what makes it worth it. The friendships, the laughter, The moments that don't seem important now, but one day you'll realize they meant everything. And I'll tell you this, at some point sooner than you think, you'll miss this place. Even the parts you're pretty sure you won't. The homework, the tests, even the formations, the inspections, and the people who told you to fix things you thought were fine. Because those things give you structure. They gave you standards, and they helped shape who you are. Now, those are important lessons, but they're not the most important thing. Because eventually you have to ask yourself a deeper question. Not just what you're doing, but why you're doing it. Why did you get up this morning? Why did you push through when things got difficult? Why did you keep going when quitting would have been easier? Because the people who truly make a difference don't act out of habit alone. They act with purpose. They understand that what they do, even the small things, have an impact beyond themselves. And that's where this all comes together. Discipline, effort, opportunity, gratitude. None of it matters if it's only about you. At some point, it has to be about something bigger. Your family, your community, the people you'll touch, the people you'll lead, because that's coming. People are going to depend on you to show up, to lead, to do the right thing, especially when it's not easy. And when that moment comes, nobody's going to ask you if you're ready. They're just going to expect you to be. And here's something I've learned about leadership. Leadership is discovered in moments of crisis. It's earned in the calm, but it's tested in crisis. And it's not about position or title, it's about trust. Trust that's built in the routines, the preparation, the standards you hold when nothing urgent is happening. Because when things get hard, and they will, you won't have time to figure out who you are or what you stand for. You'll fall back on what you've earned. So be present in the calm moments. Do the small things right. Earn that trust, even if it starts with just yourself, so you can maneuver when it matters most. Now let me give you a perspective from the other side of this moment. I still remember sitting where you are, at my own high school graduation. And if you had asked anyone back then what I'd go on to do, I don't think this would have been the prediction. I was the class clown. I made good grades, but I was always looking for a laugh. It's funny how life has a way of changing your perspective. Over time, responsibility finds you. And today, I've spent a career where people depend on me every single day. My family, friends, teammates, students, family, faculty, staff. And I'll be honest with you, that weight is real, and it can be exhausting. But it's also what gives your life meaning. Because at some point, it stops being about you. It becomes about showing up for others, being someone they can count on. And that transition from being responsible for yourself to being responsible to others, that's when you really grow. That's when you'll discover who you truly are. And it won't be what you think, it'll be what they think. So here's the challenge I'll leave you with. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, when you step into whatever comes next, when you make your bed, and yes, I expect you to actually make it, don't just do it out of habit. Do it with intention. Think about where you're going. Think about who you're becoming. Think about the impact you're going to have. Because if you stay disciplined, if you look for opportunity and challenge, if you outwork the moment in front of you, and if you never lose sight of why you started, then you won't just succeed, you'll be someone others can trust. And in the end, that's what people remember. Not your title, not your resume, but whether you showed up, whether you did the right thing, and whether they could count on you when it mattered most. So graduates, this is your start line. Tomorrow morning, make your bed. Do the small things right. Earn trust in the quiet moments, so that when life tests you, you already know who you are. The world is waiting. Now go make your mark. Congratulations and God bless.
Mr. President, the faculty and the Dean of Academics certified that each of these candidates for graduation have completed all requirements for a diploma in accordance with the standards established by the state of Alabama, the Alabama Independent Schools Association, and Southern Preparatory Academy. I now present these candidates for the awarding of their diplomas. Candidates, come receive your diplomas.
Deion Stanley. Not a stinker. Marvin Pavlov. Highest distinction. Aiden Frazier, high distinction. Leon Tomorrow. Aiden Jones. Leighton Mask. Dewey Wynn.
How about let's give another round of applause for the graduates. But let's also give a round of applause for the families, mentors, coaches, and teachers who helped them get here. Graduates, you've done it. Take hold of your memories. Take hold of your accomplishments. Take hold of the knowledge that you've gathered here. But remember, it's your convictions that take hold of you and guide you to become beacons of light when you leave this campus to lead, shape, and inspire. So without further ado, class of 2026, please stand. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left side. Cadets, you will now render your final salute. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our new Southern Prep alumni, the graduating class of 2026.